I would like to call the Springfield Economic Development Agency meeting for April 8th. To order with roll call, please.
Yes, Board Member Van Gordon. Here. Board Member Weber.
Here.
Board Member Moe. Here. Chair Rodley.
Here.
Board Member Blackwell.
Here.
Vice Chair Doyle.
Here.
Board Member Pictionary and Board Member Laval.
Here.
And Board Member Pictionary is excused. All right, we're going to start with the consent calendar.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the consent calendar as it is.
Second.
All those in favor, just say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, it passes unanimously. The next thing on our agenda is business from the audience. I don't have any cards, but it looks like there's some coming.
Chair Rodley, yeah, you have cards coming and you also have a item to read into the record, I believe.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking at, I've got 4 papers up here. Thank you. We're trying to cover a lot of business. Okay. First, there is one time designated for public testimony this evening under business from the audience. If you are attending in person, please complete the request to speak card located at the desk in the front there in the council chambers and turn it into the city recorder. If you are joining us online with a tablet, smartphone, or computer and wish to speak either of those times, please use the raised hand feature in Zoom. The order of public testimony is as follows: anyone in person in the council chambers and anyone who has raised their virtual hand. And you'll have 3 minutes to make public comment. And first up in council chambers, we have Kimberly Young. So please come to the microphone. If you turn on the button, it goes green and you may speak.
Make sure it works. Good evening, SEDA board members. My name is Kimberly Young, and I am here representing Vino and Van Gogh in regards to the lease of 236 and 240 Main Street tonight. I know you've had a lot to consider and a lot to read through. There was quite a lot there. I would just like you to consider as you decide that Vino and Van Gogh has been an anchor business in downtown Springfield since 2010. And there was a rough patch before I came in. I've been a member of Pauline's team since February. I'd like you to consider the improvements that are being made and have been made and the efforts that we've made to catch up and keep everything running smoothly and improve everything. And that with your kind consideration, we can continue to be a valuable part of the downtown for decades to come. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up, we have Pauline Howder. Sorry about that. Please come on up and turn on the button. There's a little button that'll. There you go.
All right. I'm Pauline Howder. I own Vino and Van Gogh for the last 14 years. I was not able to be here last time. I don't know if you guys got the independent, dear distinguished members of the board. But I would like to personally thank you for your continued patience and leniency about the past due rent. And I'd like to apologize for my absence in the last public meeting. I was quite ill. I did not realize that I had to prep for a colonoscopy last minute for the next day, and I I couldn't come. So I was at the Zoom. Please do not take my inability to be there in person as a show of complacency. 2020 to 2022, business turned around, the world were going under. I preserved and learned an entire new discipline in 2 weeks. I single-handedly produced over 35 paintings, videos that enabled us to continue to successfully work through the worst of COVID. The community rallied and I offered a nice drive-by art in the box with a tutorial YouTube video. During the unforeseen devastation of the economic downturn in the summer of 2023, I was hit hard. After several years of weathering COVID crisis, I was at my financial limit. I scrambled to make changes, take actions to ensure continued success as a multiple threat. We were then hit by intense ice storms in January 2024. About 75 pre-paid clients had to be canceled. This was like all businesses were bad. Everything was bad in the summer of 2023, and you cannot, if you go up and down the streets, you know, the people that bought the Main Street Market, go Pauline, everybody's gone. Where we came from, they all came to us. They came from Glacier. It was vacant. There was no business in summer of 2023. I paid rent to Ralph's Need, to Nedco. I had my first year in 2011, moved up to where I am right now, had sub, and then have you guys. Yeah, January was the worst, you know, and I have an apartment from David above Lovely. I save so much money just walking across the street. I'm there every day. And then when the COVID hit, he reached out and he said, "Is anybody need any help? Do you guys need any, you know, to wait for your money to come in?" Because it just stopped. And I would have loved to have had that in January during that ice storm, because that was a mini COVID that just hit us again. And like, boom, took us down. 75 people we had, it was coming back. They were back in town. They said 2023 was going to be the worst year ever, worst summer. Everybody was going to hit the parks. Everybody was going to be gone. Am
Your
I
time
done?
is up. Yes.
I'm
thank
not
you. Thank
done
you for
yet.
your comment. You're welcome to send it to us and we can have it
Okay.
written. Thank you. Yep, you can give it right over there to them. Thank you. Thank you. You can give it to them right over there. And are there any hands raised online?
We have no hands online for this item.
All right, thank you. All right, next item.
Next item is public hearings. New business. Item number 1 is downtown real property agreement with Alley Camp.
Good evening, SEDA Board. SEDA has been extended an option agreement for 437 Main Street, the former site of the US Bank building downtown. That option agreement is included as attachment 1 in your packet tonight. The AIS for tonight's meeting includes key business points. What we are looking for today is either permission or no to authorize the city manager.
Could you hold for just a second, Ellie? I think we have a little business from the board up here.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to put forth a direct conflict of interest on this topic, and I'll need to leave the room. I have 2 adjoining properties to this, so I'd like to leave the room and come back when this discussion and vote is over. Thank you.
Thank you. And as soon as he's out, you can proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Your AIS includes key business points of this option agreement. If any of these key business points change, we'll be back to the SEDA board to demonstrate those changes. Tonight, we are seeking permission to authorize or not the city manager to negotiate and enter this option agreement substantially in this form. That substantially in this form gives us a little bit of wiggle room to negotiate without bringing all the details back to you. And that's how we've handled former and previous property transactions in the past. Just a couple of notes about the property. It's been on the market since at least October of 2023. This property is a large lot in a strategic location central to the downtown core, and it connects South A and Main Street. It's zoned mixed-use commercial, which focuses on housing and uses typical to downtown cores for pedestrian-friendly environments and shopping. And this site could be a redevelopment opportunity for the Urban Renewal Agency.
Any questions? comments? All right, then I will entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion to authorize the city manager to negotiate and enter into an option agreement with US Bank for one tax lot in downtown Springfield, map 1703-3531, tax lot 11200, upon the terms substantially provided in attachment 1.
I second.
Any discussion to the motion? All right, let's do a roll call vote this time. Thank you.
Member Van Gordon,
Yes.
Board Member Weber,
Yes.
Board Member Mo,
Yes.
Chair Rodley,
Yes.
Board Member Blackwell,
Yes.
Vice Chair Doyle,
Aye.
Board Member Pictionary, and Board Member Lovell.
All right, it passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 2 folks not voting. All right. And now we'll move to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 6, including Board Member Weber. It's a meeting today. Okay, moving on to the next item. Thank you.
Next item is old business, Vino and Van Gogh lease review. Ally Camp is here for this item and we'll be getting Commissioner Lovell.
Okay, I think we're ready, Ally. Thank you.
Today we are here to review the lease for 236 and 240 Main Street. The current tenant is behind in rent. We first started this discussion on March 11, 2024 at our SEDA meeting. A little bit of property history. SEDA inherited this tenant with the acquisition of the property for SEDA's purchase in 2021. This property was acquired for a project that did not make it through negotiations. Your board briefing memo includes details on the amount owed and if fees and interest are applied to a potential repayment plan. The SEDA board is asked to review extension of a new lease, including a payment plan tonight.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Ally? Okay, I'm willing to entertain a motion.
I move the following. First, that tenant Vino and Van Gogh is in default under the current lease agreements at 236 Main Street and 240 Main Street. Second, that the SEDA terminate the leases at 236 Main Street and 240 Main Street with 30 days notice to the tenant. Third, that if the tenant vacates both premises completely before the 30 days, the city manager forgive the tenant and personal guarantor of all past due rent and fees except for forfeiture of the tenant's security deposit. And fourth, if before the end of the 30 days notice period, the tenant pays all past due rent, including fees and interest for the leases at 236 and 240 Main Street and the terminated storage lease, then the city manager is authorized to enter into a new lease agreement in substantially the same form provided in attachment 1, but not including the repayment plan.
I second.
Any discussion to this motion? Go ahead, Board Member.
Well
Lowe.
done. Well done.
Okay, thank you. That we have had a great deal of discussion. I really appreciate staff. I appreciate Pauline and her staff for providing so much information and being a downtown business owner for the past decade. And know that everyone has looked at this from so many different perspectives. One of the things that we have acknowledged is that we need to do better in terms of how we manage our properties and how we become increasingly professional in how we do that, because we are working to be in the business of developing downtown Springfield, and it's going to take all of us continuing to do better. So I just wanted to just say that out loud, that it has been some very deep, considerate conversation and that I appreciate all the work that's happened on all sides. I know that this is very difficult and not necessarily pleasant, and we're going to do the best we can moving forward. All right, I'm going to call for the vote, please.
Board Member Van Gordon,
Yes.
Board Member Weber,
Yes.
Board Member Mo,
Yes.
Chair Rodley,
Yes.
Board Member Blackwell,
Yes.
Vice Chair Doyle,
Aye.
Board Member Pictionary, and Board Member Lovall.
Aye.
Any other business?
No other business.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.